Hello everyone, it's Raptor 2000, and today we will be doing part 2 of the Pixar theory. Today we will be discovering how Inside Out fits into the Pixar theory, that every movie in Pixar is somehow connected to the same universe. Now, just like last time, this theory does not belong to me. It belongs to someone named Jon Negroni. And you can check out his official website at jonnegroni.com. But anyways, without any further ado, the Pixar theory, or the grand unifying theory of Pixar movies, if you want to be more intense, the fan theory I wrote in 2013, how every single feature film made by Pixar Animation Studios is intentionally set in the same universe. Or unintentionally, if you believe in miracles. I was inspired by an episode of the web series After Hours on Cracked.com. In the episode written by Dan O'Brien, the After Hours crew discusses at length how a few of the Pixar movies may secretly be about the apocalypse. They address Toy Story, WALL-E, and Cars before giving up because they can't find a way to connect the films any further. So I took that as a challenge. Over the following year, I developed my own theory on how every one of the movies connect. And the results have been surprisingly epic. People from all over the world read the theory, and many of you have been ongoing discussions in the comments that go way beyond anything I first imagined. Trust me, I read all of them. Now, 2 years later, it's time to see where we're at as we welcome a new Pixar movie to the world, Inside Out. But first, it is important to point out that the theory itself has changed dramatically over the years. A lot of people have called out flaws and undeveloped points of the theory that make it fall apart. I've read the feedback and spent the last 2 years writing a book that fully fleshes out my original theory. It addresses pretty much every major complaint that the debunkers have thrown at it, and it does this in about 10 chapters. Every chapter, some are lumped in together like the Cars franchise. And every chapter follows a specific movie. I talk about the context of the movie as it relates to this theory, where it fits in the grand timeline, and how every movie contributes to the idea that these movies exist in the same narrative. And yes, I go completely beyond the Easter eggs. My book is also now available in paperback and all ebook stores. Hope you guys like it. But anyways, let's get back to the main task ahead. Let's talk about how Inside Out masterfully fits within the idea that all these Pixar films are connected. What you're about to read is set up like how I wrote the chapters in my book. So if you like what you read, it may be a sign that the book is for you. Consider this your sample chapter, if you will. Obviously, there are many spoilers ahead, so read at your own risk. I highly recommend that you watch the movie at least once before reading this, especially since it's pretty fantastic and you've been warned. Inside Out is the story of a young girl struggling to grow up, seen through the eyes of her emotions as literal beings, because yes, Pixar made a movie where feelings have feelings. Wow. The movie opens with the birth of Riley Anderson. The first thing we may notice is that she shares the same name as Bonnie Anderson from Toy Story 3 and the subsequent shorts based on that movie. It may tempt you into believing that Riley and Bonnie are somehow connected, but that's definitely not the case since their names aren't spelled the same way. For context, Pixar named Bonnie after two people, Bonnie Hunt and Darla K. Anderson, the producer of Toy Story 3. Darla actually has an Easter egg for a name dating all the way back to A Bug's Life, where you can catch her first name on a box in Bug City. Anyways, we learned early on that Riley grew up in Minnesota, but her family moves to San Fran when she's 11. Now, it's true that Bonnie lives in Tri-County, around the corner from Andy, Tri-County does take place in the Bay Area of California. That's really just a coincidence. Riley's family never mentions that they have relatives around, and that they only moved to San Francisco because of Dad's job. For that reason, all signs point to this being a coincidence. Moving on now, we get to know Riley through a montage of her early life. When we get to the point where she's 11, it appears to be modern day. Much of the technology we see throughout the movie, like Skype, surrogate that closely resembles the one used by Trixie in Toy Story 3 and the presence of smartphones, owing to this being a film set in 2015. It means Riley was born in either 2003 or 2004, depending on her exact birthday. Interestingly enough, it would mean the movie opens during the same year as Finding Nemo. We also know this has to be sometime after 2007, which is when Ratatouille takes place. In fact, Inside Out actually confirms that Ratatouille takes place in 2007, not 2004, which is a conundrum I ran into while writing the book. So, based on the blurry date, St. Uncle Stowe's will, and, well, that's not important right now. Anyways, the reason we know this is sometime after Ratatouille is because you could see Colette and Toto on the cover of the magazine in a blink and you'll miss an Easter egg. Judging by the prestige of this magazine, Colette has done well for herself during her years, learning from Remy and working at La Ratatouille, the bistro she started with him and Linguini. After all, why would she be on the cover of a magazine before her adventures in Ratatouille? Before she met Linguini, she was just a hard-working chef trying to build a career at a failing restaurant. I find it much more plausible she's creating a name for herself under the tutelage of the best chef in France. So, as we get to know Riley in the film's early montage, we meet her emotions. The film immediately takes us inside her head, where we watch joy, sadness, disgust, fear, and anger team up to influence Riley's actions, because they work in headquarters. Get it? And use a mysterious console to control Riley's decisions. When emotion manages to elicit a meaningful experience in real life, a memory is generated and sent to Riley's long-term memory. If it's a specifically powerful experience, then it'll create a core memory that stays in headquarters. It's somewhat confusing, but Pixar does a great job of explaining this better than I can. They use subtle techniques and cleverness to make the inside of Riley's head immediately unique while also incredibly believable. For example, the memories are shaped like marbles, because without them, Riley would lose her marbles. Anyways, this is a pretty fun movie, actually. The plot of Inside Out focuses on Riley being uprooted to a new home in San Francisco, and how this negatively affects her emotions. She misses her friends, never sees her dad anymore because of his new job, and feels pressure to just be happy all the time, which eventually causes her to repress her sadness, eventually causing even more problems. There's another fun cameo during this part of the movie. We see a rat that looks somewhat like Red. This is a fun reminder that Pixar transcends the multiple stories they tell. And we also see memories that feature other Pixar characters. You can see Carl and Ellie's wedding from Up, for example. A good reason for that could be that Riley saw a tape of the wedding at some point. Though that would have to be a very old home movie. Could be a picture, since we see a camera in the first frame of that scene of Up. In that case, Riley could have seen the picture and imagined the wedding herself. This had led a lot of people to think that Riley could somehow be related to Carl and Ellie, which would be quite a stretch. It's because Carl and Ellie sadly never had kids, so Riley would have to be a distant relative. If she knows about their wedding, she's probably met some of this family, but we know in those early scenes of Inside Out that Riley is visiting California for the first time. She thought the Golden Gate Bridge was actually golden after all. You could argue that people from this family went to Minnesota to visit her, but I'm not really convinced. Personally, I don't think we're able to know just yet. Though one theory I have is that she has a teacher friend who's somehow connected to Carl and Ellie. The future Pixar movie may shed some light on this. Some people even want to believe that Riley is Boo from Monsters, Inc. or Andy's mom. Seriously, look, Riley is Riley. She's not anyone else, and trying to force these connections is missing the point. For example, the primary reason I think Riley is Boo, because when she saw him as a toddler, she's wearing that same hair tie / scrunchie thing that Boo wears in Monsters, Inc. But they even both have pigtails even. If you're fixated on them being wearing the same, then you basically miss the cooler reveal, which is that Riley was growing up around the same time as Boo. Monsters Incorporated took place in the early 2000s. So of course that and those hair ties were popular. As for Riley being Annie's mom, I think that's way too much of a stretch, even for a limousine. The main theme of the Pixar theory is that the idea that humans emit this strange energy that we see all throughout the films. In Monsters Incorporated, we learn that the laughter of a child can be harnessed as energy for a society of creatures who seriously know how to use it. In The Incredibles, the energy is seen tangibly throughout the exploits of superpowered humans who can do wonderful things. Part of my Pixar theory, the updated version, is that humans power the toys in the Toy Story, since they're built to collect energy by the machines from The Incredibles. Now the book goes more into detail. The basic idea is that the machines know how to use human energy as a battery, which carries on its strategy all the way to the future when monsters have to go back in time through toys to access the energy because no humans are left. Thank you so much, Wally. But all this time I've wondered why Pixar seems so infatuated with the idea of imagination being a raw power, and Inside Out addresses it pretty head-on. The whole premise of the movie is that our emotions, as seen in Monsters Incorporated, are what truly power our actions. As the most powerful emotion for a child is joy, as seen by Joy being the de facto leader of Riley's emotions. Most of Riley's memories are positive, and this is because joy is inherently a strong emotion for many children. The monsters of Monsters, Inc. use fear, which could be another strong emotion for some kids. Power their society, but they eventually learn that laughter from joy is much more effective. Why that? Well, Inside Out explains that joy is one of the first emotions we experience. Joy, the character, is a literal light source. She's fast, tough, and clever, and she'll do anything to make Riley happy. The other emotions in comparison are much more passive. A lingering question in Monsters, Inc. is why adults are so hard to scare. Inside Out sort of answers that by showing the insides of adults' minds work, more emotionally balanced. For example, you don't see one emotion overpowering the others. When we see inside the heads of Riley's parents, the emotions don't bicker like they do in Riley's head. Instead, they all work together to accomplish the same goal. But that's not all. No. There's something even better hiding in the dark that serves as the biggest aha moment I've had since I carefully watched Brave and Monsters in back to back, and that has to do with Ping Pong, Riley's imaginary friend. And sadness meets him halfway throughout. And join sadness meet him halfway through the movie, and he helps them navigate Riley's mind as they try to return to headquarters. When Riley was 3, Bing Bong was her best friend. He's part cat, part elephant, and part dolphin. He makes cotton candy and naturally cries candy. He has a wagon that flies when powered by songs. Wait a second, humans equals batteries. So what's the big deal, huh? Why is it important? Simple. Bing Bong is an imaginary friend. Yes, but he's based on a monster. Riley's monster from when she was 3. And the end of Monsters, Inc., Sully might decide to make kids laugh instead of scream because it generates more energy and is less messed up. We even see Mike go through a door and perform stand-up comedy for a child. But wouldn't this leave a kid feeling traumatized? Imagine a monster coming through your door making you laugh and then disappearing forever. It would make no sense unless children perceive these new monsters as their imaginary friends. Bing Bong was a monster who went to Riley's door and made her laugh when she was 3. We know the monsters have animal characteristics, explaining his part cat, part elephant appearance. Of course, Riley thinks he's made of cotton candy, so why else would he be pink? I'd even argue that he makes dolphin noises to make Riley laugh, causing her to think he's part dolphin too. It all makes perfect sense to believe that well-adjusted kids in Pixar movies grew up eating monsters in their room late at night. And it's further helped by the fact that in Riley's subconscious, she's afraid of clowns, not monsters. And think of it this way, it's pretty easy to picture Bing Bong living in Monstropolis. I have plenty more to say about this, but those are the major points. If you want to keep digging, you can read another exploration of this movie that I did that goes somewhat more into detail. The gist of it is that Bing Bong is life. There are more Easter eggs for the movie listed at the bottom, but that's the basic rundown of how Inside Out fits into the Pixar theory. If you think something interesting to add or have a compelling question, fire away! Just please don't ask if Big Hero 6, the Disney movie, should be in the Pixar theory. Please don't. And that is the end. Tune in tomorrow for part 3 of the Pixar theory. This is not mine. This theory belongs to Jon Negroni. But other than that, tune in tomorrow for part 3 where we will discover how the good dinosaur fits into the theory. The end.